Alright, people. Welcome back to the channel. I have a new blob on the screen. Screen. That's me. It's a placeholder. Because I'm too lazy to put on a freaking face cam and edit that all. So, shout out to anybody who wants to be my editor for free. And then maybe in the future, if we make money, I'll give you money. But, other than that, we are reacting to a video today. Because I am a First Descendants player. It is a thing. And it's made by Nexon. If you guys know MapleStory or all those other stuff, you know. But I am reacting to Nightmare Frame. I'm assuming he's a Warframe player or just a, looter shooter MMO player that plays Destiny. I have and again, I have no life and I waste my time on a lot of things. But First Descendants is that one thing where I have almost 2,000 hours on. Yeah, butter me surprised. I did not think I had that many hours. But I saw this video today, came out like a day ago, and I was like, this would be interesting to react to. He tried the First Descendants again after a year. Let's watch.
So, I recently went back and tried out The First Descendant after nearly a whole year, and to no one's surprise, I was not impressed. So, let me tell you why. But first, for those looking for a reason to come back, well, don't only...
I will say, I think a lot of players were not impressed. I had a lot of friends I asked. I was like, hey, play this game with me, see how you like it. Majority of them pretty much said it was kind of a slop in the very beginning. And I was like, hey, play it out till you get to hard mode, maybe like it more. Some of them, they got to the hard mode or end game, and they liked it a bit more. But the real thing that got them, and I think this kind of goes for every game, I think Warframe as well. I think the time I played Warframe, I think I was just so overwhelmed by the amount of trash that's in the game that you have to collect just to make stuff. I didn't want to play it anymore. It's kind of like the amount of DLCs you have to pay for in Destiny to even be up to par with the players who've been playing forever.
watch my video, I'm looking at this game at a different perspective, especially of someone who just has live service game fatigue and sick of games that don't respect the player's time. So with that said, let's go back and uncover the reason as to why I dropped the game in the first place, and of course looking at what the game could have been and what it is right now. I last played this game back in October 2024. I uninstalled the game because of really poor design choices, outright sloppy content, and encounters with lame and useless mechanics.
So true. Why did I sound like Asmongold there? But it's so true. Okay, so, I like playing the game because it's just something to do. Do I truly enjoy the content in the game? No, not really. It's kind of just something to do. And I will say, when it comes to the mobbing content, when it comes to the boss fight content, and again, I've watched multiple of hours of Destiny raids, Destiny content, and Warframe content. And out of the three, I think Warframe looks the best. And it might be because when I'm watching it, I'm watching some friends play. And one of my friends, he's just goes through maps like it's butter. Just super fast, super quick. It's just efficiency at its best. And maybe for Destiny content, whenever I'm watching them do what is it, some challenges and stuff, it's pretty much like the First Descendants, but you have a bit more, I wouldn't say puzzles. You have less mobs, some puzzles, some verticality to the maps. But the First Descendants is just mobs. At least that's what the new area is. And again, let me reiterate this. I played the entirety of the first Descendants. I have every item maxed, almost every Descendant maxed. Again, I'm never going to play Jaber, never going to play Eugen, right? I leveled them up to get me to level 30. I ain't going to put cats on you. Not worth my time.
It released this new season and it was just absolute doo-doo water. I got together the boys and we killed the new boss and it was the worst
Deathstalker.
piece of shit I've ever done. And that
Now, he says it's trash, which I would have to disagree on, but the bar is low. The bar is very low. This boss, I would say, is the most fun fight in the game because it has mechanics. But after about a month, people found ways to just one-shot the boss, and that was the story. Now, comparing Deathstalker to other bosses like, what else? What was it? Gluttony or Devour, where it has a very different mechanic, where it's has an immune phase, and you have to like watch a gauge on his arm. This one was, you shoot the boss, you stay on these little circles, and then it'll get out of its immune phase if you survive while standing in a circle. Right? It's like time gated. And pretty much, that's kind of it. There's not really like, oh, you have to like defeat mobs. Well, you kind of do, but the mobs aren't that strong, right? None of these Colossi raids or boss raids are all that challenging. And when they were, I think enough people kept yapping in the comments that Nexon or the developers eventually had to nerf them, which was really disappointing.
prompted me to just uninstall the game. I just couldn't take it anymore.
Just like that.
Damn.
Alright. Great.
He defeats the boss with a team. Wait, who was on his team? Or what was his team? A Blair, a Haley, a Viessa, not Viessa. I forgot the water girl's name. Volby, and a Eugen. And then they defeat it with like about 4 minutes remaining. I don't even know the time. It was like a 20-minute raid, something like that. Yeah. Not the most exciting.
Alright. Great. Stopping. 669. Great. Manage, uninstall.
Nice
Get
number.
the fuck out of my library. Alright. It's done.
And people who are watching me for TFD content were always wondering when I would eventually come back. So is me reinstalling the game to see what's up a sign of me coming back? Nope. So why is that? Let's talk. First is
Let me guess. It's because the content is still the same, just more stuff. That's how I see it. I'm sure that's how most people see it. I'm sure there are people who really, really, really like the game. And I like the game. But I don't really, really like the game. Like, it's cool. And the Nier Automata skins and whatnot are cool. But I'm not going to fall for that trap. Rainbow Six Siege did it. I don't know how many other games did it. I know a bunch of mobile games have done it. I'm not going to fall for that trap.
Ascendant launched at a time where Destiny was sucking a lot of dicks, as
Yes.
usual. And Warframe was just in a shit
I have a lot of friends who play Destiny. And they kind of just clown the game about like how it's a dead game. Honestly, I see it. But apparently, the current season that it's out with, the content that it's out right now, it's going back up. I've heard it was good. Am I going to play the game? No.
state with no content for months. So, the usual. And when
I guess Warframe really is that dead.
TFD launched, it was easily able to grab players from both ends and give them a whole new avenue to experience something new in a familiar setting. For those who don't know what The First Descendant is, it's a free-to-play third-person booba shooter
True. Even the director was like, man, something inside of me unlocked when he saw like fishnets on legs. He found a new kink.
Okay.
Or dynamic motion.
Of course, the Neo skin, and this is the one with the skirt. So this is the somewhat halal one. This is the absolutely haram one. And mechanic. Racer, of course. Of course. Uh-huh.
Everything is just open. Jesus.
Yeah. And oh, I like this one. Like the jacket mostly. Why? Wait, what? That jiggle doesn't make sense because
The jackets are just stuck. Jeez.
the jacket is jiggling. What? That doesn't make sense, dude.
It's haram.
Made
dude.
by Naxxon. Yeah, you know where this is going. So you control a descendant, people with powers, fighting to save humanity from an alien invasion. Simple premise, and because that's all I got out of the story, as I will not subject myself to that kind of torture to listen to their dialogue and horrible voice acting. I just can't.
It was arcade.
I'm not gonna lie, it is very bad. And like, I think that's just the thing with these games, other than maybe Destiny. I've heard good things about the Destiny stories, some of them, not all of them. And how like, oh, they like these certain characters so much and whatnot. And then I hear nothing about Warframe. Everything is just trash dialogue. No one cares about the story. And it kind of goes the same for this game. No one cares about the dialogue. No one cares about the story. Just get me to the missions, let me turn my brain off, and just play the game.
Arcade.
Hell, I'm gonna get you out of here right now. Corel, you bastard. And together, we'll save Alpha. Together.
And for those saying, hey, just change it to Korean, huh? It's the same lines, okay? It's just you don't understand what they're saying, so you think they're doing a good job. The core gameplay loop involves tackling missions, fighting massive bosses called Colossi, who all got nerfed, apparently, and
It did. It did. Well, hold on. If my memory serves me well, only certain bosses got nerfed. I will say, I think in the beginning Devour got nerfed, but it was mostly because players are trash, as they always are, and Devour, in hard mode at least, is the very first, whatchamacallit, is like a stat check, where I think you have to have a strong gun or a strong descendant, and you will just get through it pretty easy. And then the second stack check is, I think, Pyromaniac. I think Pyromaniac might be the second one, and it's mostly a gun check. I wouldn't say it's a descendant check. It's more of a gun check. And then Frostwalker was the other check. That one was a whole ass kit check. I wouldn't say it was a gun check, but it was definitely a descendant check, because for that one, because of the way it's made or the way it was designed, it's one of the crab bosses. So you have to so when it gets in its invulnerability phase, you have to shoot like little tubes on its legs, and they were just really hard to shoot. And then it would have a mechanic where if you didn't pick up these little fireballs that are really hard to see, or if one of your dumbass teammates picked it up, then you can't pick it up. And if everybody picked up one, then you don't have the buff to cleanse the Frostwalker's one-shot ability. So it was a really, really dumb mechanic. They fixed it later on by dropping more of the fireballs and making it so that whenever you hit the Frostwalker's legs, it would slow him down, which is something they did to Wall Crusher too, if you guys didn't notice, for the people who play at least. But yeah, and then they nerfed a lot of the HP on a lot of the bosses too. I call them bosses, but they're like Colossi raids, whatever they're called. But yeah, it just made the game really easy, and you just had a really busted descendant, like especially where the power level is at right now. like all the content in the game is really, really easy.
Collecting loot to upgrade and customize your descendants' abilities and weapons. The game design draws heavy comparisons to Warframe and a little of Destiny too. Like Warframe, it features third-person perspective, characters with 4 abilities and a passive, fast-paced combat, a roster of distinct characters with unique powers, mostly women with big ass and titties, and generic Unreal Engine.
True Gunnar content. I don't care about Gunnar content. I'm more of the rule of cool type of person. Like, for my characters, alright, my Blair looks like Ghost Rider, alright? White mask, black suit, and then when you add the vehicle with the burning trail behind him, Ghost Rider. Alright, my Ajax, he looks like freaking Buzz Lightyear. I'm not going to put up the picture, but you can imagine it. And then, yeah, I have a lot of Evangelion references. The girl in the red, I forgot her name. And then my, not Enzo, Esimo. Wait, yeah, it is Enzo. My Enzo just looks like Tron. He looks like a Hawk machine Tron, right? So I don't really care about any of the Gunnar crap. I'm a rule of cool.
Faces. It has a fairly decent modding system, additional gear and components to make the build feel more complete. It shares elements with Destiny 2 through its looter-shooter mission structure, grand boss encounters, the 3 weapon slots with different ammo types, and a central social hub like the tower. Oh yeah, they also added sparrows into the game, which have 2 modes, boost and jump. All the animations are stiff and ridiculous to look at. I mean, if I were to compare and choose the vehicles between Destiny, Warframe, and TFD, I would take the Sparrow and Skimmer from Destiny over the vehicles in Warframe and TFD any day.
I kind of wish he showed side by side what the other ones look like, because I don't know what they look like. But I will say, I have grinded for all 3 vehicles. The Vortex, the Orca, and the one that you get for free. Right, and I leveled them all to 10. They also have a thing if you're doing the time trials, which is the trials for like, it's like a racing thing. They added like a small little, whatchamacallit, kind of like Need for Speed type of thing, where you drive and you have to go over checkpoints and you get like boosts and jumps and stuff. Very race car-y, right? Race car game. But for the most part, you also have to get extra rolls on top of leveling the freaking bike. And so you have even more grind to do, even more needlessly wasting your time. And honestly, I think if you're a player who values their time, you're not going to play this game and you're not going to waste your time.
As they do feel better to use, make sense, and are relevant in the content and not just random gimmicky vehicles put into the game because haha cool. Now going back a little, talking about its release. So when I played the game, some people warned me, my guy, it's Nexon, careful. It was the first Nexon game.
They're right to warn him. The prices are even more extortionate than freaking Riot. Alright? Riot Games, alright? As a League of Legends peen sucker for like 14 years. Alright? And I've played with like the Grandmaster players. I've played with the freaking not Radiance, that's Valorant. You know, I've played fucking Valorant and those freaking skins. Alright? I've spent money on those games. They're extortionate as hell. They're like, League of Legends wasn't bad for a long time. It's just recently, like within the last like 4 years, where it's gotten really, really ridiculous. $200 chromas. 2 $500 skins. Like, for Faker. A dude that's notorious for not using any skin. Like, this is bonkers. And not even talking about the Valorant skin prices for the guns. $25 for one skin. $50+ dollars. It's like 45, 50 plus for a knife skin, right? Like this is, and it's not even like CSGO where you can sell the skin to make some money back, or maybe if enough people like the skin, maybe you make some more money on top of what you spent, right? Gambling or stock trading, right? So these type of games, and Nexon, right? You thought Riot was bad. Nexon, no, it is. It is even worse. It is like, so the prices in the game for Riot's case, right? Usually it's pretty close, right? Like a 1,000 Riot points is still roughly $10, right? But for Nexon, 10,000 in-game credits is $20 fucking dollars. That's a lot of fucking money, right? And you can't even buy the they again, I think every game does this where they slightly overprice or underprice, so you have to buy the bundle above it, and so that you have more credits than you need, or you have less than what you need, just so you buy another bundle. Every game does this. It's freaking ridiculous. And in Nexon's case, for this game in particular, I think there's a $5 bundle, a $10, a $20, and then there's not even a $30 one. It jumps straight up to $50, and it's crazy.
Game. So I was none the wiser, and I was like, dude, just don't worry about it. But a small tangent here, not all Nexon games are bad, just all the live service ones. Because the first Berserker Kazan is an exceptional game, one of my favorites, and a really good Souls-like.
It's a good game, but I will say, the bosses are just so spongy. They just take so much damage and take so much time. Like, I think every battle is like, at least, if you're really good, maybe 5 to 10 minutes. If you're mediocre, 10, 20. If you're just bad and you run around the whole time and you're just like picking it off little by little, oh yeah, it's gonna be a while.
But I try. 10 out of 10 would recommend. Anyway, going back. I played TFD since the first beta. There were so many issues in the game, and they promised to fix those issues and produce worthwhile content. About that, TFD was a big deal in the scene, as it was a direct competitor to both Warframe and Destiny. It's always good to have competition in the video game space, because it pushes developers to improve and give players what they really want, and make a good, complete game. I mean, TFD was a serious threat, emphasis on the was part. Before I go into all the negatives, let me just point out the good in this game, because believe it or not, there's some good to take away. And before I go into the nitty gritty, let's establish a few things. The red mods in this game are the augment equivalents in Warframe, and crystallization catalysts, one of the dumbest things I've ever blurted out of my mouth, are formas in TFD. So I'll be using the Warframe terminology because it makes more sense and less word vomit. And in this game, augments have their own augment slot, and they're not mandatory mods to fix issues like in Warframe, but completely change how the character is built. It gives them an entirely new identity, and depending on the content you're doing, some augments dominate. It can turn support frames into a DPS into a tank, for example, altering how abilities and damage types scale, and some of them can completely turn an ability DPS descendant into a weapon platform. It's pretty intricate, not gonna lie. There's skill trees. Man, I love some skill trees. This is a new thing added to the game because it wasn't around when I was playing. This adds more power utility to your build. The skill tree isn't something in depth like you would see in Path of Exile or Last Epoch, but it's
true. This is not as bad. This one's actually pretty easy to look at because you just follow the lines, and most of the time you know exactly what you need. Like I would say for Viesa, this one's pretty bad because he should be going down to the right and then going up to the skill cooldown, but instead he went up to the crit first. Whatever. Either way works. Just get to the freaking skill power, get to the mutant cell, and just get to the cooldown. You're fine. Right.
But there.
Nah.
And it's horrible to level up.
Oh yeah, what I was going to say. Let me go back a bit. The thing about Path of Exile, and again, I've probably played like Path of Exile for like 500 hours or so by now. And I have like my lightning spear build, which is the most broken build in the current meta of that league, and then I have a flicker monk build, right? This is like way beyond easier than both of those games, because both of those games, while it looks daunting, and it kind of is because of how much shit is in it, if you just read each node and just kind of follow through, and they even have a search bar for what you're looking for, like maybe you're looking for elemental damage and whatnot, you just travel to it. There might be a lot of walking, because holy, all these min-maxers and PoE, they're crazy. But it's not that bad. It just looks a lot.
See in Path of Exile or Last Epoch, but it's there, and it's horrible to level up. The Codex, that you can access whenever you want, shows you where each item is acquired, and you can mark and list things that you're actively farming. Pretty nifty. They were the first to add somewhat of a universal forma to the game. Not as good as Warframe, where...
Yeah, I heard that Warframe, you just unlock a socket and it halves everything. But this one, there are people who've went through, and for each slot, and there's like 6 slots? 12? There's 12 slots. There are people who've put 5 sockets, because there's 5 letter types in the game. They put 5 sockets on each to have 60 sockets. It's ridiculous.
where it's one forma for all polarities, but close enough. And they have this one thing that Warframe would benefit big time from: transferring regular Warframe progress into a Prime variant with a single click, meaning the reactor and formas that you invested will all be transferred over. Oh yeah, you know how good that will be in Warframe? But Warframe won't be able to do that because of, well, money. They would lose money. And I guess
Sounds about right. But also, you only get these blue square things from events and stuff too.
that's the same reason why this feature is only accessible through specific
Yeah.
events in TFD.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they added this new open world area. It's barren, like Unreal Engine slop terrain, but there's a world boss. Yeah, a full 8-man world boss that you can participate in. So that's nice. And you're able to target farm relics.
I will say this boss is not hard at all. Super easy, super simple. Just look at look at the amount of Serenas, right? When me and my friends were theory crafting for the next boss based on the demo, we were like, oh, maybe you run a Eugen, maybe you run some Glaze, maybe you run some, Ajaxes, so you could do the buff Ajax, and then you can do the shield where you get more firearm attack with the shield, Nah, you just run 8 Serenas and you kill the boss in a minute 50 or a minute 30. I've done it multiple times. It's not hard. It's a joke, really.
Unlike in Warframe, you can just farm Neos or Axes. You can't necessarily target farm a specific relic. I think that's all the good stuff. And now, let's delve into the negatives and downfall. TFD was given the Golden Goose. But as soon as they got the golden egg, they gave back the goose, because all they wanted was the egg. It's like, bro, if you have the goose, you can have as many golden eggs as you want. Literally a money printing machine. And TFD was like, nah, I'm good. Nah, we have egg here. That's a TLDR of what happened. I made a video talking about prices, monetization, and ridiculous farming that exists in this game, but I was called a hater. That's all.
No, he's right. He's definitely right. The pricing in this game is horrendous. The amount of grind you have to do. And I'm going to talk about the most recent content, because maybe that's what some people care about. Because the older content, it's mostly a lot of running the same missions multiple times, and it's going to be the same even in newer stuff. But specifically in the old stuff, you have to run Outpost to get amorphous material, right? And that was time consuming. You have to get freaking material to open those boxes or amorphous materials, right? For this one, I would say is even worse. At least with Amorphous Material, it was a chance pull, right? You just get the loot box, you open it with these materials, you're Gucci, you're fine. But no, for this one, it's even worse. It's like 10 bajillion times worse, because it's no longer Amorphous Material. In this one, and in the new Axiom Planes, you get the new Descendant Nell, who's pretty busted at the moment. Not as strong as Serena. If you're a new player, just get Serena. You can go through every content. You might need to get you get Bunny, so you'll be fine with mobbing. But, you get new Nell. She's strong. Eraser, freaking useless. Battle Pass rocket launcher, Executor, completely useless. Restored Relic is way better. You get the 3 new vehicles, where you all have to level them all up to 10, but 2 of them, the cool looking ones, the one that looks like a sport bike and one that looks like a Formula 1 car, right? You have to grind all those. And in that pool, you get the new Descendant, the new Eraser gun, the Orca, the vehicle, and the Formula 1 car, the Vortex. All 4 of those in one pool. So now it takes even more time to grind for everything. And it's a 25% drop rate with a 6% chance for all of them, right? So it's a 20 to 25% chance to get the box, and you have a 6% within that box to get everything. Like one piece of the entire drop list. It's horrendous. It's terrible. And again, I have no life. So I spent, I think, like 20 to 30 hours in the first, 2 days. And I got everything. Because I have no life. Alright? Now, for most people, it's going to take them 4 days, maybe 3 days, depending if they're working a lot or if they're super lucky. Right? If you're super lucky, 2 days, 3 days. If you're incredibly unlucky, it might just take you 4 or 5 days, maybe a whole week, right? So, yeah, they made the grind super, super terrible. It's so horrendous.
Always. So let me show you a feature that was asked for since the beta, all right? The first beta. All right, take a look at this. I can open the codex, search for mods, and see where they drop. Pretty cool feature, right? As I said earlier.
I know where he's going with this, but we will continue watching.
Not what was asked for. This is but an example and setup for the stupid I'm about to show you. Now, if I want to upgrade my mods, I need to go to an NPC, and at that NPC...
Yes, you do.
I can no longer search for the mods I want to upgrade.
Yes! Oh my... Almost fell out of my chair. But, okay. Yeah, this is like the most retarded shit I ever seen in my life. Like, dude. You added a search bar for where in the library, the codex, whatever, right? Why is there no search bar when we're trying to level stuff up? Because now we have to equip it when maybe we don't want to equip it. Maybe we just want to see where the power level is at. So we're just going to look through our library, right? I'm not going to put it on the weapon and then go to the Descendants or the weapon slot. I'm going to just go to all and just search for that one thing. But yeah, I digress. It's just like, I think it's oversight, but it's really dumb oversight.
Why is there no search bar? I would either have to use filters to narrow down what I want, or install the mod on the weapon or Descendant and have instant access to it.
And the crazy thing is, I'm pretty sure, and again, I'm a software developer, I'm a game dev. You can just copy and paste, maybe work it around a bit, but for the code that you have for this enhanced module slot, you just gotta slot in the search bar code for it. Alright? And it works exactly the same. You're gonna have to put the UI in there somewhere. Alright? But the code is the exact same. There is no difference.
This makes no friggin' sense. If a search feature already exists, why does it not exist when you actually want to upgrade your mods? This was asked for since the first beta. How is this still not in the game? I got a bit, emotional. Granted, that was really stupid. TFD did help push Warframe to up their game in many ways. Unfortunately, the game shoves so much live service mumbo jumbo at you with time gates.
I would say this is all MMOs, this is all games nowadays. Fortnite does it, everything does it. It's marketing, right?
FOMO, limited time offers, value packs, slop after slop, making things tedious to farm, but an easy escape by just swiping that card. Funny enough, you can't swipe to buy weapons, but the drop rates, shush, hey.
Hey, don't be giving them ideas, man. Don't be giving them ideas. They'll do it. It's freaking Nexon we're talking about. The same ones in Maple Story that, what was it? It was like a lawsuit a long time ago. It was like a Maple Story Pro got this one freaking item and they didn't tell you the drop rates, and so he spent like a $5,000 or $1 million or something on it. It was something stupid.
There's something. And playing the game after coming back, it feels like there was no significant change. Performance issues are still a thing. Visual clutter is just over the top as always. Even though there's a setting to turn off explosions, there's no setting to turn off player effects.
No, this guy, his is actually, like, I don't even think he turned off the thing. Because the way his looks is not how mine looks. His is crazy. I've never experienced this. But I will say, there have been times, and I'm not sorry for it, where I've played Glay, and I've used the Restored Relic, and my Restored Relic shoots like a freaking machine gun. And I'm pretty sure I have caused people to get disconnected from the servers or just booted out of the game because of how much stuff was happening. It happens to me too. And again, it's just because the game has spaghetti code, or the servers are trash. One of those things. But yeah, this game needs to be optimized a lot more. It's really bad. Now, it's not like, well, in the new area, you'll get stutters and stuff, and you probably get framey, but in the old areas, I think it's mostly fine.
DE, you need this option as well, alright? You're not exempt. I can't even tell the female descendants apart if they don't have their signature outfit because they all look alike and all I can see are ass and titties. But I can tell Sharon apart from the others because she's the only brown girl. And
I'm not gonna lie, even the face is still the same. It's like the skin tone, really? That's where you're gonna go on? Bro, all their faces look alike. Alright, it's all like the generic, like, what is it? The generic Asian female look that you get from like every free asset on any freaking game engine. You just make the nose bigger, make the eyebrows wider or closer, or shrunk in the face a bit more, right? To make them look a tiny bit different. But all in all, they still look the same. But then again, right? When you're making a character, majority of the time, you're not thinking about well, if you're trying to save money at least, or save time on development, you're not going to worry about the small things, right? You're not going to worry too much about how wide the eyes are, how big the nose flares are, how wide the mouth is, or how small the lips are, right? What you're going to do is you're going to go for a silhouette, right? You're going to go for a silhouette of the character, long hair, glasses, big cloak, right? Boots or something that when you look at the character, you know it's the character, and you don't have to go to the face and stare up really close and be like, "Oh, is that Glay? Oh, yes, it is. It's not NS or Bunny or Serena. You're going for a silhouette. I get it."
nobody plays her still. And you barely see any male characters
I
being
see some Sharons. But then again, they're probably just doing it to level up their RK.
played. I wonder why. For one, I commend them for knowing their audience with all the Gunnar skins and Gunnar material. But other than that, it's just another live service game shoving.
They know their audience, but also, I think this game is still in the top like 100 or top 50 most revenue earned on Steam or something like that. Like, it's a lot. They make like millions every month.
Having so much bloat down your throat, kind of rhymes, that's just too much. I mean, Warframe also has this issue where there's just a lot of materials and resources every new update, and some of them are freaking useless. I mean, when was the last time you used Tellurium, huh? I'm surprised Destiny solved that issue by consolidating resources and currency. Yeah, Destiny solved that issue.
That's
The
crazy.
dog
Bungie. Bungie of all people.
Fellow, known in this game, was added to help solve one of the most annoying and time-wasting things that's in the game: inventory management.
I will say, it does solve it, but it's currently bugged. And for some reason, if you dismantle too many things, you end up with ghost items that you have to leave the game. You don't have to exit out the application. Just leave the title screen and come back in and they'll be gone. For some reason, it leaves behind ghost items. They probably didn't add a destroy item and then this item destroy. This not destroy, whatever. But yeah, so, or instance destroy this instance. Yeah. But you have two dogs. You have the German Shepherd and the Golden Retriever. German Shepherd gives you health. This one right here gives you ammo. I wish they had one that gave you MP or mana.
So this is the Sentinel or companion equivalent to Warframe, but all it does is loot things for you. And if you've set up your junk filter, it will dismantle the junk. That's good, right? Sure, but all it does is loot. Nothing unique or special. It doesn't add anything to your build or combat like in Warframe. When you
Actually, it kind of does. He probably just doesn't know. But it's like every 30 minutes or 40 minutes. And so it's very minor in majority of fights. Like, this one gives you gun or ammo, right? And are you really going to notice it here and there? Not really, because all the mobs around you that you're killing also give you ammo. So, yeah.
you think about it, it's just like the Ghost from Destiny. But at least the Ghost talks and hacks things for you. Let's
I
not
wish
talk about
we had a little animal thing follower that kills things for you. If I was making the game, maybe I would add a small ape with a machine gun and maybe a machete that goes and kills stuff. That'd be pretty cool. Or maybe it's a bird that holds the machine gun with its feet. You know? Like an Apache helicopter.
the process of getting the dog, which is just tedious and takes way too long because you have to run one boring mission over and over. After getting the dog, you expect it to do things
that's
right
every
away.
mission in this game. It's really bad.
Junk marking and dismantling items is on a cooldown. So you have to level up the dog to reduce the cooldown, which requires you to go back to that boring mission and waste your time
And
again.
a thing about getting the dog, you have to level it up. And to level it up, you have to run the same mission that you get the dog. And you have to feed the dog. But to feed the dog, and to make the item, you have to get material. And all the material are in that exact same mission. And how much material you get? Not that much. So you're probably running the Void Erosion mission like 200, 300, 500 times. Yeah, it's a lot. Oh yeah, not to mention the keys that you have to get for opening or finishing the quest. And then you're using those exact same keys to open boxes that are all RNG in that mission. Yes, the grind is atrocious.
And even at max level, there's still a cooldown. The dog feels like complete wasted potential. It could have done so much more than just be a loot bot. Each dog has that additional trait where either you get
Oh, he
HP
doesn't.
recovery or it auto refills rounds. It may be good for some people, but I was expecting a bit more from these dogs. Anyway,
Yeah, no,
this
I was expecting a lot more too. I was expecting the dog to attack from me, you know, or maybe carry a laser on the back. No, it's just there. It does nothing.
my perspective on the current state of the game. I mean, TFD has been hemorrhaging players. Their average player base is under 10k players on Steam. And because of the recent Season 3 update, it's seen a slight incline in players. But guys, it's a free-to-play game. You have two options. Either use your time as currency or spend money in the game to save you time, as this game does not respect the player's time. With all that said and done, how are you guys faring? Are you still playing the game, still consuming the content, or did you completely stop playing? Lend me your thoughts down below.
Alright, wait.
Anyway, that's all I have to say for now. If you enjoyed this video and found it informative, please feel free to like, share, and subscribe.
So, go check out his video, give him a like, whatever, and whatnot. But, for the most part, I agree with what he has to say in for the most part. Definitely, this game doesn't respect your time as a player. I definitely wasted my time, but because there's no real other games I want to play, right? The games that I play are Monster Hunter, Helldivers, and Valorant, and Path of Exile at the moment. I'm not really playing any other games. And there's no other games that I really like to play, for the most part. And Monster Hunter right now, content's kind of dry, kind of dead. Already fought the monsters that I wanted. Already did the arena quest. Had my fun in it. It's done. Right? And until Master Rank comes out and new content comes out, it's not that like I really want to come back. Right? Helldivers is the same. Kind of got bored of it. Path of Exile is pretty much like, it's terrible to play right now because the currencies, I think it's like one divine is like 2,000 exalts, which is crazy to me. I think it was like 800 exalts when I stopped playing, and even that was ridiculous. But yeah. And then Valorant to me it just got boring. Honestly, with the new recoil changes, you have to be a lot more tappy, and I spray too much. But that's a skill issue or player issue. But yeah, no, the gameplay does feel a little bit more sluggish, or a little more RNG with the guns if you spray a lot. But yeah, a lot of games out there, but they're not all that fun. But other than that, yeah, First Descendants. You like it or you love it. I'll catch you guys in the next video.